Welcome. My name is Mary Tolman. I'm the Special Programs Administrator for the Brownsville Independent School District. I oversee federal programming down here in Brownsville. And I'm going to not read everything because I know we're going to be short on time, but I did want you to know specifics about our student population. And that is that we are 89.5 economically disadvantaged, 67.8 at risk, and 36.1 English language learners, and 3.4 homeless. As we go through the presentation, I just wanted to mention that one of the most important things or factors in having a great program is making sure you have the right people in the right places. And I consider us very blessed because some of the individuals you're going to be hearing from are in charge of the programs that we help fund as part of Title I or Title IV. And Ms. Larasquito is our Parent and Family Engagement Director. That Ms. Diana Clout is our McKinney-Vento Youth Connection Project homeless liaison for our district that we provide funding for. And also right now we're going to have Ms. Eliza Bellamy presenting on behalf of Ms. Sarita Garza, who is our Guidance and Counseling Director. In this age of COVID that we're starting to, I guess with this new variant starting to have a rise, I want to thank Region 16 for putting this together. It's not easy. Anybody who's had somebody go through COVID this school year coming back face to face is going to present some enormous challenges, but I know that we can get through it together. Having meetings like this is really important to have us exchange ideas and learn from one another. And so I just wanted to say thank you for having us, inviting us here, and for you all to come in and join in and log in is awesome. So thank you very much. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Larasquito. Okay. The slide is not. Let me show you. Stop presenting. The slide is not moving. Are you doing that? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get it to you. Okay, we're going to reshare. We're going to upload the PowerPoint once again. Okay, is everybody, can everybody see that? Am I sharing my screen? Yes. Okay, here we go. Yes. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Rosalba Larasquita. I'm the Director for Parent and Family Engagement with Brownsville ISD. And we're so happy that we've been given the opportunity to share our stories. And there's so much that we're not able to put into 1 hour, but hopefully what we share with you this morning will be helpful and give you some ideas and how we're making it happen in BISD. So we're very, very proud of what we're doing here. And I want to thank Ms. Tolman and Ms. Diana Clout and Elisa Bellamy that are joining me here this morning in helping us share and highlight BISD. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. One of the things that that we want to share with you this morning is what our food and nutrition service department has been doing or had been doing during COVID, making sure that every child is well fed and making sure that they have meeting all the needs. And throughout our presentation, you're going to see how we are addressing the whole child and making sure that all of their needs are addressed so that they can be academically successful.
And so that's what you'll see throughout. There are some snippets. I do want to let you know there's some snippets that I'm including on the slides, but Region 16 will provide all the handouts in their website, so that we're going to sharing the whole complete documents for you. Okay. Okay, so here we're showing that food service not only provided curbside deliveries, food deliveries at each of the campuses, but also made home deliveries for them. And so that was something new, but kind of like a DoorDash. And so the parents were so pleased. And here you see the superintendent and upper administration and board members and campus administration making those deliveries. One of the things that we wanted to make sure is that we're taking care of our own. And BISD applied to be a provider for vaccines. And so we were granted that. And so our BISD Health Services Department has done an outstanding job in making sure that PPE equipment was ordered for everyone, for all the campuses and departments in the district. COVID-19 testing, we do that on a weekly. Sometimes it was being done on a daily basis as well. And so we were providing that within our district. Vaccine clinics, and you can see on this other side of the slide where 21, as of today, 21 vaccine clinics have been conducted, and over 30,000 vaccines have been administered to BISD students, staff, and our community as well. And you can see the picture of the parking lot. It was full. And so we've been able to provide for our community as well as our BISD community with the vaccines necessary. And you can see that some of the clinics are also going to be available during open houses. And so in our district, we have open house for each level on a different day. And so there'll be vaccine clinics provided to our community, our staff, and our students as well. So our students 12 years and older have been vaccinated if they choose to do so. How we're organized here in our department, you know, you can see on the left-hand side that our flow chart, our little organizational chart. In my department, I have a total of okay, I'm down to 5. When at one point there was 10 of them, but you know how things happen, right? And so, but my staff, I got to give kudos to my staff. My parent trainers have done an awesome job in adjusting. And I think we all have, you can relate to what I'm going to say. When there's less of us, there's more work for everybody, right? And so, but my staff has been they've been a great team. I've always been blessed to have a fantastic team with Moses, Anna, Gloria, and Claudia, and my clerical assistant, Juanita. And so we pull together and making sure everything goes through. And so each of my parent trainers, as you can see, is assigned a certain amount of campuses, and I have them designated elementary level and secondary level. Currently, I have 2 vacancies, which those 2 new persons, so proud to say that they're going to start on Monday. So I'm so excited about that. And so they do an awesome job, and they meet with the parent liaison. So we have parent liaisons at each of our 54 campuses. The majority of them are funded through Title I. We have a few, our alternative centers. Parent liaisons are funded through State Com, and but the rest of them are Title I funded. And so we have a great connection from our department to the campus level, and making sure that everything that needs to get done will get done. And as you'll see further on, other slides will be able to, I'm going to discuss compliance and so on. On the right-hand side, you can see the campus's schedule for the parent meetings. Their parent meetings, they schedule parent meetings on a weekly basis. They schedule them for about 2 hours, an hour and a half, depending whether they're going to do it in the morning, afternoon, and when we provide flexible meeting times, that'll be in the evenings between 5 and 7, and on occasion on Saturdays or after school. And so you can see the schedule there. Again, I am providing these as handouts that Region 16 will be providing to you. One of the things, of course, our major goal is to make sure that not only is the LEA, but the campus level are in compliance with Title I requirements. And so on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the former checklist that we used to use, and the blue document is what we're currently using. On the left-hand side, what we used to use before, which might be a little easier for you if you want to do it that way. And the blue one changed because now I combined it to make sure that it coincides with our Title I crate information. For those of you that are familiar with Title I crate, you'll know what I'm talking about. So on the left-hand side, I indicated we got our section 1116. And I pulled apart all the major requirements that are on there on the SLA. And so each indicator will indicate all the different types of communication and information that needs to be relayed to parents. And so, from the Title I meeting to the policy and the compact. And so I transferred that information on the white document onto the blue one. And on the blue one, you'll see where each of the Title I requirements is designated. And I've also included each of the documentation that is required for each of those sections. In red letters, you can see where the due date shows. And that's a due date where it's due to be meeting documentation to be uploaded onto the Title I crate. So the Title I crate out of 806 Technologies, if you use Plan for Learning, it's the same company. This is just an additional service that they provide as well. Also funded through, our Title I funding. And so there's due dates and so on. So this checklist serves as a guide for each of the campuses and for us at the district level as to what each of the documents, the requirements are required and what needs to be uploaded and what the documentation is required for each meeting. And so you're going to get the full document onto the handouts. And you can see that I put in the highlights, highlighted at the bottom of each page and a red asterisk to ensure that they're going to provide a flexible meeting time for that particular information. One of our challenges that we had been noticing and that we started to incorporate and implement 3 years ago was, our staff, our campus and our district staff, everything was on paper, everything was handwritten. And so it was taking up a lot of time as the responsibilities were increasing. So what we did to address this challenge was to provide our parent liaisons and our parent trainers within the district. We pulled them together, and including the data entry person on campus, the attendance clerk, attendance liaisons. So all of this group, we call them the attendance initiative team. So we brought them together for the reason and the purpose for bringing them together so that they were working as a team and ensuring that all the responsibilities in regards to attendance, because our liaisons not only do attendance, but they also have to do one particular liaison, especially at the secondary level, have to do the parent component, which are the parent meetings, the parent information, that communication that needs to be relayed to them. So we brought this team together, and so we noticed, okay, what needs to be in place and so on. And so one of the things that that we did was get together with Power School. And so Power School does the systems for and all the logistics for eSchools. And our eSchool Plus is our student information system. So we wanted to make sure that all the parent and guardian contact for attendance with our students had a place where we could store all that information. So we could have a student history and so on of all the parent and guardian contact. And so eSchool Plus is our storage, our student information system where all the parent information history is stored. Our school messenger, another way we relay information and is our school messenger, which is our parent notification system. And through there, we're able to email, text, voice message to parents district-wide or by campus. And so parent liaisons and campuses for their parent meetings are able to use this system as well, so that they can make sure to inform parents of their particular upcoming meetings and so on. And so not only the reports that we get from School Messenger or the communication through there, but the reports will let us know if the telephone number is blocked, disconnected, if it was answered or not answered. And so those reports each individual campuses get so that they can inform the parents, okay, your telephone is not working, is it blocked? So that the parent liaisons and the attendance initiative team can update the parent communication and their notification information so that they can get that straight. Home Access Center. Home Access Center is our parent portal so that parents can monitor their students' grades and attendance through there. It also has a capability for them to receive an email by teachers, and they can communicate with the teachers as well through there. Electronic equipment was also another challenge, outdated equipment. And so each parent liaison, as well as the entire attendance initiative team, received a computer, a scanner, a printer for all of the documentation that they were going to be utilizing for attendance. In addition, for home visits, the parent liaisons and attendance liaisons were provided with a tablet and cell phone. We got special permission with TEA to provide the cell phone because our connectivity, our electronic connectivity with our systems within the city are not the same all over. So that was a big challenge. So the parent liaisons were going to have to be able to connect the hotspot to the tablet to be able to get into eSchool Plus to make sure they conduct the home visits and be able to document and store all of that contact information onto eSchool Plus. And these are some of the documents that are in eSchool Plus, and it's just a step-by-step snippet for you all to see. In which, whether it's a parent liaison, administration, the teacher, the nurse, will input a home visit request, a phone call request. In other words, a contact request for a particular student. That's the first slide that you see, and so that goes into the system. So from there, each of the campuses have a PIMS administrator in which they approve or deny that request that's being asked. And then from there, once it's approved and denied, but if it's approved, it goes into the parent liaisons tab, which is a teacher's access center. And so that's what you'll see at the top right-hand corner. And you'll see a little clipboard. So when they're at a home visit, on their tablet, they'll see that particular screen, click on the clipboard, and then they'll see the following screen that you see on the bottom right-hand corner. And so it gets auto-populated, and on the bottom portion is what while they're conducting the home visit, is what they'll be completing. It also allows for the parent liaison to, if the parent, they make contact with the parent or guardian to get a parent signature and so on. So once this contact information is conducted, it gets stored, they save it, and it gets stored into the eSchool Plus system. So teachers, administration can see a student history of the contact that is being done for that particular student as well. And it becomes very handy, there becomes an issue or regarding truancy issues. They'll have a history of all the contact information that was conducted for that particular student. One of the things that we were also able to put into our system, and and I have to thank Ms. Tolman over and over for helping us put all of this together. It's been a breath of fresh air, and everybody could oh, great. Okay, so all of these forms, were handwritten at one point. And so now it's a quick turnaround to getting contact logs for the parent liaisons and so on. So the contact log is the first one that you see there. I've taken out the student, any student information that you might see there, but you can see it'll give us, when the contact was made. It'll give you all of the information that you can see on the header, on that gray line on the contact log. So you can see if it was conducted, yes or no, contact made, yes or no, who made the contact, and so on. So this has been a real relief for everybody. And so they turn these in on a weekly basis to us. Within the contact log, what's inputted into the system, now we're able to see and give you a tally as to how many home visits were made, and the type of visits that were made. You can see on the headers on the bottom page, on the bottom page of what type, was it contact made, yes or no? Was it for attendance, or was for address verification? Was it the parent needed to come in for a conference? All of those little acronyms that you see there are a different reason to have made a parent or guardian contact. In addition, when they turn in their mileage log, because we do provide a mileage reimbursement, and so we compare their contact log. What's on the contact log should be on their mileage log, and that's how we verify the mileage reimbursement for each of them. So we monitor all that for each of the liaisons. So the little drill through, they were to click on the bottom little corner with a number. This is information that we can also see. So you can, on the left-hand side, it'll give you the grade level of the contacts that were made, any pending, or what type of the subpopulation of the students that we're making contacts for. In the next area, you'll see who is making the contacts. On the fourth column that you see there is, how many pending approvals, denied, approved, how many were done, how many are pending home visits. Now, the numbers that you see here, those large numbers, are also including the previous year. So that's one of the things that we're getting fixed for this year. So when there's a rollover from year to year, there's certain things that we need to maintain and fix up for the new school year. On the right-hand side, you can see the different reasons why a contact would need to be made, and then it'll give you a tally per reason on there. Okay, so all of these numbers should be matching the contact log, the other composite report that you were able to see. One of the ways that we monitor on a weekly basis for a parent, with our parent liaisons at the campuses, is that the campus liaisons, campus parent liaisons have this weekly monitoring checklist. So by week, we can be able to see, what parent meetings were conducted, when they were conducted, and then we have a tally for each month. On the right-hand side of the report, they'll give us, that's part for my parent trainers to see, okay, we have their contact log was submitted, their mileage log was submitted, their composite report was submitted. So these are documents that they submit to us on a weekly basis on Fridays by 4 o'clock. And our parent liaisons also need to input how many home visits and how many phone contacts per week that were conducted. And they get those numbers from the composite report. So now I'm going to go into the different types of committees that we have our parents. We have parent representation at the district level. And so our major one is our district parent advisory committee that will be meeting 3 times a year. We have 2 parent representatives from each of our 54 campuses. So that's a little over 100 parent representatives that we have at each of our meetings. And so each of parent will represent some subpopulation, whether they have a child in the bilingual program or in the homeless program, migrant, GT, you name it. So we have a representation of the different subpops in our committee. We do a lot of parent consultation with our group. We do a needs assessment, and the needs assessment will either be a 1-pager that has different activities that they can select from or include anything that may not be included on the list. But that's one way. And then of course, our major evaluation in the spring that we work with our DPAC as well. And so those are different types of needs assessments, but the smaller form will be ongoing, and that at the campus level, they provide that and they conduct that at least once a month so that they can keep updated on the needs of the parents and what they're asking for. On the particular, one of the things that we like to do is highlight families. This particular family that you see here is a migrant family. And our parent representative, I wanted to make sure that we highlighted her because all of her 3 kids have gone through BISD and were able to be so successful. And she had always told us, you know, the benefits of attending parent meetings and being involved and being engaged and being on top of what the students, what her children were learning and so on, and being in context. I said, you know what, we need you to talk to the rest of the parents. So when parents hear it from other parents, you know, we can tell them till our face is blue in the face, but when they hear it from other parents, it kind of hits home in a different way. And so we wanted to make sure we highlighted her and her beautiful family. Our superintendent has a superintendent's parent roundtable that he meets with on every 6 weeks. And so it gives parents the opportunity to hear information, new information, to discuss and ask questions, whether it's a clarification or that they need on different initiatives that's going on in the district. But he gives them, you know, what better than to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? Themselves. So, you know, when they're hearing it from the superintendent, again, you know, it hits home in a different way. And so they have the opportunity to ask questions to him directly and to provide also feedback to him of what may be going on, any issues going on at the campuses that they feel that he may have a greater input on that. So parent representatives that they hear, whether it's a DPAC or any district committee, parent representatives get that information, and they also report back to the respective parent groups at their campuses. And so it's a lot of two-way communication going on to making sure that the parents have input and giving feedback. And moving forward, we started this 2 years ago, actually, and all of last year. And again, this year, we're going to continue with Miss Patricia Valenzuela. Not only is she a parent in our district, but, you know, we tapped into her talent and to her expertise on her background on human development. And so she has been providing the parent sessions in the morning and in the evening as well. So not only is she our parent, but she has served as a consultant in our district. And so that's how we're utilizing her as well, to provide parents of virtual parent sessions. We provide them in the morning and in the evening for our parents. And so the invite is sent out. We send out the invites. We send out the invites through email. We send out, post them in our websites. The campuses post them in their websites, and so on. And so with each of our district committees, our distribution email list, we send those out. So there's a variety of ways. And not only that, we send them out to each of our departments in our district, so that we can make sure that the word is being sent out. Our Parent Police Academy, we have been conducting this with our BISD Police Department, because we have our own police department, which have been essential in safeguarding our schools, and making sure that that each of the schools have whether it's a security guard, but secondary level, all have a police officer on guard at their campuses. And so our police academy we have been doing this. We started with class 900, so we're starting 916. So it's been 16 sessions that we have provided for our parents for the past 9 years. And so the parents get a variety of topics, information, as you can see there. And so not only does it encompass our police department, our own BISD police department, but several law enforcement agencies in our district, in our community, that come together and provide the parents with an ongoing information and topic training. Our community partnerships are so important, because there's so much funding, right? There's only so much funding that you can utilize, and if you have big ticket items, for example, electronic equipment that you're having to purchase, then you have to decipher and you have to prioritize your funding. But one of the big major things, and we're so proud that we have a strong relationships with our local agencies and organizations in our community, such as Driscoll and BCFS, and even our Brownsville Police Department have come together at the beginning of the school year and throughout the year, not only with our department, with other departments that you'll hear as well, in providing a backpack giveaway. So they provided this year 3,000 backpacks with supplies that were donated. And so the importance of the community partnership is that, we have come to the point where they come looking for us. If you're starting out, or in your position, or in your communities where you need to build up a strong partnership with your communities and your businesses, they're always, they have compliance requirements that they need to deal with. So it's coming together and sharing the commitment and the responsibilities. Okay, they know we have the people, and so then they have the supplies and so on. So they're always looking and to reach out. So make yourself known, make yourselves, put yourselves out there, so that you can, and once get organized with agencies and organizations, the word will get out. And so we've been here long enough where our relationships with our partners are strong. And so they seek us out more than we're now seeking them out. And so that we're very blessed in that way. The new guys in town, SpaceX, and the PBI construction company, came forth this year to provide 500 backpacks with school supplies. And they donated those because they're now in our community, and they wanted to reach out to our needy kiddos in our district. And so we're very blessed and happy to have received those supplies in our district for our kiddos. Know Your Community Fair is one of our biggest outlets that we can provide to our parents. What we do at our Know Your Community Fair, we have over 70 booths with community agencies and organizations and our district departments. For example, one of our biggest ones is our curriculum and instruction department, where our specialists provide information, and our different district departments talk to parents about the different services that they provide for our kiddos within the district. And then our community provide information to our parents that gives them information of the services that they provide in the community. And so the parents give a wide variety of information, pamphlets, and you name it, so that they can take with them and also share with other parents at their campuses. And so this is a big deal that's coming up October 1st at it would be bigger if we had a bigger facility, but we're limited to at least 74, 75 agencies that we're able to fit in there. Building capacity, one of the things that would come up in our parent surveys, our Title I survey at the end of each year, is parents wanting technology skills training. And so we have provided through Title I funds, again, provided each of our campuses 20 laptops with a charging card for parent training specifically. And so we did this right before COVID started. And I mean, it was just something that it happened that way. And so we're so excited that it happened that way, and we're blessed. We're blessed. So each campus has 20 laptops to provide trainings for parents. And if there was a parent representative that needed a laptop to making sure that they're in their committee meetings and so on, they can provide that for them as well in that way. And so we're very pleased to provide that for our campuses. Our career technical education and adult continuing education departments have a grant through the adult continuing education, have a 5-year grant in to serve the Cameron County area for adult ESL classes, GED, and so on. But in addition to that, they've partnered up with our CTE department to provide additional certifications, such as CNA, phlebotomy, MOS, construction, and welding. So that's a combo department initiative that they work on with together, and providing our adults in our community. So our parents of our students are very blessed. And so there's always a big waiting list for them to join in. So not only are they educating themselves in learning English, getting their GEDs and so on, but being certified, which enables them to help them find a job. And so that concludes my portion of it. I want to hand it to Ms. Diana Clow, and so she will continue to give you information on the McKinney-Vento Act.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Diana Clow. I am the homeless coordinator for our school district. Our program is known as the Youth Connection Project, and we serve our home.
Rosalva, you will have to unmute your mic since you're the one that has the main mic for your group.
Got it.
Good morning. My name is Diana Clow. I am the homeless coordinator for our school district. Our program is known as the Youth Connection Project. We have a McKinney-Vento grant, and we know the intention of the McKinney-Vento Act is to facilitate enrollment, attendance, and success in education for all homeless students. I'm going to briefly go over the definition of homelessness, waiting for the next slide. If you can bear with us for a few minutes, we're having some technical difficulties. We're waiting for our presentation to come back up so that we can continue with our slides. I've been working with Ms. Juarez-Quito and Ms. Tolman for over or close to 20 years now. I think in just with us three alone, we have over or close to 100 years experience just with us three. So I think with just us brainstorming, trying to see how we can meet the needs of our kids has really propelled our program and our project to build those relationships with our community members. And so that's what I'm going to share with you all as soon as I go over the definition. We're going to be going over our partnerships. And as Ms. Matasquito mentioned, we have built our relationships. They're very strong. They come to us looking for ways to share for our community, for our special populations, especially since I go over the homeless, take care of the homeless population. They're always wanting to meet the needs of our population. I think we're up and running. Can you all see our next slide with the federal McKinney-Vento, how they
You are good, Deanna.
Okay, so I'm going to continue. Thank you. Individuals who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence includes children and youth who are sharing the housing of other persons due to loss of housing, economic hardship, or similar reason. And right now we're having a lot of families come in because of COVID. And we're also seeing a bigger population with our unaccompanied youth. And so with that, the definition also includes children living in our motels, hotels, trailer parks, or camping grounds, living in emergency or transitional shelters. We have two in our area here in Brownsville. We work very closely with the children's shelter that we have in Harlingen. Families sometimes when they have to live in their cars, parks, public spaces, abandoned buildings, substandard housing, meaning no electricity or water, and or bus or train stations or similar settings. This is the bigger group that we're seeing now is with our unaccompanied youth, either they're runaways and or living with other families, other friends or families because of the absence of their biological parents. And so once we identify them, of course, they're McKinney-Vento eligible, we code them on our eSchools. And once, well, regardless of their living situation, and then so they do not have to provide proof of residency for immediate enrollment, immunization records, or a TB skin test result, birth certificate, school records, or legal guardianship papers to enroll in school. So they are enrolled immediately. Once they're identified and through our, like, as I mentioned, we code them on eSchools. And so all the process Ms. Matasquito was talking about in regards to information, how our parent liaisons get that information off of these schools, and they're out there and they're live with our system. They know then all of our kids can continue to attend the same school in which they were last enrolled, even if they have moved away from that school attendance zone or even school district. I work very closely with all our neighboring districts. And so we provide those services to our kids in those situations. They receive transportation to their current residence back to their school of origin, even outside of our district. Participate fully in all school activities and programs for which they are eligible for. And they may contact me so that any disputes, if they arise, that they're able to enroll in school immediately. This is our current count right now for the 21-22 school year. These are active counts. So we currently have 466 homeless youth, 292 unaccompanied youth, meaning our total is now 758. And so because we identify on a daily basis all day, that count will continuously go up. On the next slide, we also conduct parent focus groups. And this was, of course, pre-COVID. And so, but because we're open to 100% with parents coming into our district and to our campuses, we are planning our first parent focus group for the next coming month in October. And so there'll be topics that we're going to share a survey with them to see what it is that they want to have discussed so that we can go into further detail about that particular topic and bring them in so that they can get that training. We've also had back to school giveaways, and because of COVID, we're doing a lot of curbside events. This is with one of our local churches, our Seventh Day Word of God Church. They came in, they brought in backpacks, school supplies, and all we had to do was invite our parents and our kids. And we did this actually on a Sunday afternoon. We also work closely with other churches in our community. This particular donation was given by Iglesia Bautista, West Brownsville. We have our superintendent support, board member support. They call us basically and just to come pick up. And we bring this back to our office where our parents and students pick up the items as needed. We also, this is part of the Rio Grande Valley, we have a Vipers, a D-League basketball team. They also invited it, and Ms. Laresquito had to step in for us at that time. We had a state mandated training. So as we worked very closely together to provide our services to our kids, they took the field trip for us. And so they were also given backpacks with school supplies. We work very closely with the Rotary Club of Brownsville Sunrise Group. And this was a summer activity that we held. And yes, it was during COVID, and we had parents in and students. These are homeless kiddos that graduated, received a $100 scholarship through the Rotary group. And so there we have our Deputy Assistant Superintendent, very supportive with all the Rotarians, and that was a success. Also, they also did a shoe drive for our kids. There's the Rotarians, and there's them dropping it off at our location so that we can share with all of our kids. And so as Ms. Laresquito mentioned, these type of activities, these type of projects that we do, that helps us with not having to use our Title I funding or McKinney event grant funding or state comp funding. And so it just lends itself, and our funds go a little bit further. We work, this was another collaborative effort with Texas Exes and our district attorney's office. They did a pillow drive and more. They collected food items. And so it's a big campaign. We share all this information on our websites, and they share it on their media, their outlets for like Facebook and things like that, that they utilize, the Texas Exes group. And so we collect all these items. And then on the far right, you can see where myself and one of our counselors, we go take some of these items over to the motels to deliver to our kids, and or if they can come into our office to pick up the items as needed. Day of Giving is another ongoing event that we've established in our community in collaboration with our transportation department, our administration, and we go to our 3 Walmart supercenters here in the area, and it's coming up again this coming school year. And we just basically pick up donations from our community, and they're brought back to our office for our children and youth as needed. We work closely with the Texas National Guard. That was another community donation that came in. They came looking for us, wanting to share. And so they've shared school supplies and hygiene kits for all of our kids. Again, here's another activity with the Brownsville Police Department. They shared toys during the Christmas season. And again, curbside event. And we just kind of want to make sure that kids are taken care of even with a gift. And that was all provided by our Brownsville Police Department. Work very closely also with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. This is an ongoing event. It's been years now that we do this. We do this during the Christmas break, and sometimes it even lands on Christmas Eve. We go visit all the different motels. They bring their Blue Santa, they bring their officers, and they also, all these toys are collected through their agency. Basically, we just escort them to all the motels to hand all the toys out. This is another collaboration that also came. It's Undies for Everyone is an organization that contacted our department. And so they delivered the items to our office, provided undies for everyone from size 2T all the way to size 14, 16. And we hand those out to our kids as they come in for services. These are just a list of our collaborators in which we work very closely with. SpaceX has also provided a huge donation of their apparel. And so that we're able to give that out and share with all of our kids as they come in for services.
Okay, one of the other things that we wanted to end with in one of our last presentations here is ESSER 3 funding. You know, if you were able to qualify for ESSER 3 funding and you applied and so on. What we did with in providing families with additional activities, we have throughout the district, we have one of the initiatives of expanded home visits for special populations. So this was going to be in an effort to reach OSP parents, students' parents, beyond the regular school day hours. Home visits will be conducted in the evening when parents are most likely to be available. And then these visits will also ensure better awareness of district resources, programs, and academic progress of OSP students. And so that's going to be done after school. So this is all of these initiatives that you see in front of you. Will cover the following costs regarding extra duty pay and supplies and materials as needed. So when these expanded home visits are going to be able to give them parents additional information of resources within the district and in our community. Another initiative was the Family Resource Center. And so here you have a little description. Twice a week, school libraries will be open to provide parents with resources, and which will hopefully include, it'll include counselors, teachers, parent liaisons, or even a licensed school specialist of psychology in the campuses to provide that for parents in the district. Also, I believe, and Elisa, you can expand on that, if they're going to provide the family centers as well. So the Saturday Family Academy is another initiative that's going on in our district to engage parents and their children, collaborative, interactive, multidisciplinary activities on Saturdays. One of the things that our survey results indicated was parents wanting more information, strategies, skills on content areas. And so that's one of the highlights that we want to make sure that are the different types of activities, the hands-on activities for parents that will that'll be provided for parents to help increase and help bridge that learning loss that's happened in the last 18 months. Okay. And again, the funding through ESSER 3 will cover the cost. The majority is for extra duty pay to pay our folks, that because of all of these activities will be either after school or on Saturdays. It's kind of delayed. There it goes. Okay, so next we're going to have, I want to pass it on to Ms. Elisa Bellamy, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Good morning. My name is Elisa Bellamy. I am the district-wide counselor. This year, we've trained all our staff and teachers and administrators in social emotional learning best practices. And the CEL is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, the skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, achieve personal and collective goals, and feel and show empathy for others. Also establish and maintain supportive relationships and make responsible and caring decisions through castle.org. So that's the goal of social emotional learning. The next slide, please. Okay, we also do a lot of mental health planning and awareness. We have an advisory committee, and it's composed of mental health professionals, mental health community agencies and hospitals, also BISD department directors like the parental involvement engagement, police services, health services, special programs, and the homeless youth connection, and of course the guidance and counseling department. It also includes teachers and students and parents, and we meet 3 to 4 times a year And our district benefits from our MOU counseling services. They provide school presentations, free training opportunities, training for teachers, and referral services, etc., for our families and students, and also our whole BISD community. So I am the district-wide counselor, and what I do is I provide services beyond the state requirements, like district-wide presentations on mental health with topics like grief and trauma, resiliency for all students during the school day. I do outreach to students who had a crisis outcry during the remote learning time. I am the district grief team lead counselor. I provide district-wide social emotional learning lessons for students and coordinate mental health and wellness presentations for the students, teachers, parents, things like the 8 dimensions of wellness, laughter, yoga, and mindfulness. Okay, and during the 2021-22 school year, our initiatives through the ESSER 3 grant is the social emotional learning platforms to address collaborative academic and social emotional learning competencies, which include a parent component and is implemented by teachers and reinforced by counselors. So all our teachers are trained to teach these lessons, and then they are reinforced by the counselors. Lessons on self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. We will also provide after-school social emotional activities at all campuses and mental health presentations for the BISD community 2 to 4 times a month on wellness, anxiety, depression, trauma, self-care, and things like that. We're also going to open up various district family counseling centers for our parents and students if they need extra support for counseling. Thank you. You're muted, Ms. Larasquito.
Okay, you can hear me now. I'd like to thank everybody that joined me here today. I wish I could we could have invited everybody and everybody say their part, because everybody does such a great job when they're describing what they do and the different activities and projects within their department. But we are very fortunate that we have Ms. Diana, Ms. Mary, and Ms. Elisa. And unfortunately, you didn't get to hear Ms. Sara Garza, our administrator, for our director for guidance and counseling department. And but we have Elisa, which everything that she described is what she handles as well. And so thank you each of the girls that joined me here this morning. Again, thank you Region 16 for giving us the opportunity to do that, and all the support that we get in the district, because we work with everybody collaboratively with all the different departments, and starting with our superintendent, with the support that we get from our superintendent, deputy superintendents, and district department directors, and so on. So the last page that you see here is our contact information for you to, if you have a question that you want more details on, especially when you look at all the handouts that we're providing to you. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us here today.